Welcome back, everyone, to OpenLine. Happy to have with us Chris Sanders of Tennessee Equality Project. We have been talking primarily about a bill allowing adoption agencies to deny services to gay couples. In fact, deny services to people or situations with whom they have a moral objection.
Right. Moral or religious.
Moral or religious objection. That would certainly impact gay couples potentially. So we've been talking about that bill, but I also, you kind of touched on some of the other bills. Well, let's kind of go through what else you're seeing up there.
Sure.
What are some of the other bills this year?
One of the bills that's back is a bill that requires the Attorney General at the state level to support and defend school districts that develop anti-transgender student bathroom policies. So they would either directly provide the legal defense or they would pay for a firm, a private firm, to handle the defense. So in a way, that's subsidizing discrimination. Rather than set a blanket bathroom policy for the state, they're saying to school districts, well, if you want to try one, we'll handle the lawyer. You still have to take care of the settlement. And it's setting them up for an impossible situation because it makes it look like you're coming in to help. But when the case is over, when the judge bangs the gavel, the school district is on the hook for the bill, the settlement, and school districts are losing when they're sued on these issues.
So it would give a community maybe a false sense that, okay, everything's going to be fine. We'll have the state come in and help us. The state would help, but then if they lose, they're in big trouble.
That's right. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, January 2018, Ash Whitaker, a student, sued over similar policies in his school district. He's a trans student. He was a trans student there. And his settlement was $800,000. Now, even in Metro Nashville, in tight budget times, $800,000 is a lot of money. Imagine the impact of that on the budget of Cheatham County schools. It's not worth it to pass this bill. It's not worth it for the school districts, and it's a bad deal for the state. The Attorney General has other things that, you know, he ought to be doing.
Has the Attorney General said anything about this bill?
I'm not aware of any public comment, no.
Wow. And so where does this bill, the one we're talking about, that bill stand?
That bill has gone through the Judiciary Committee in the House. It is up next week in Finance, Ways and Means, and in the Senate it will start in the Judiciary Committee as well on Tuesday, I believe. Is
this the brainchild of someone in Tennessee, or is this another one of those bills that's out there all over?
This is a Tennessee innovation as far as I know.
Interesting. So that's a very interesting bill, and it's out there. It's kind of moving along in the House, and it's moving along.
And about to get started in the Senate.
What do you, well, I want to talk about some other bills, but let me go here after hearing about that bill. What do you hear from companies that are talking about locating in Nashville when they hear about bills like these?
I think many are privately concerned. Some, I think, are getting to the point where they're getting ready to speak out. Alliance Bernstein did speak out publicly at our press conference in March. They sent a statement, and of course that was all over the media as well. You know, Taylor Swift is obviously concerned about these bills, and we're grateful she is, because that really provided a refocus on this slate of hate. But we need more companies speaking out publicly and speaking to the leadership in the House and Senate and to the governor.
Interesting. All right, Lucy. I'm going to go to Lucy right now. Hello, Lucy.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Well, Mr. Sanders, I hate it for you, but I hate it more for me because I'm a taxpayer. And, you know, I'm a firm believer if you're hungry and you need shelter and I can spare a little bit, I'll help you along, because that's the way I was raised.
Right.
And I wasn't just raised by parents, I was raised by this community.
Right.
And I remember when there were gay kids down the street, nobody cared.
Right.
and this is to hit on some of what you were talking about, this hypermasculinity. Nobody cared until Anita Bryant came along and her husband, you know, prodded her to get into politics, essentially, and start this campaign.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, it's an issue that these guys were gay. And out of the 80s, and I saw this with one of my nephews, because at 5 years old, he sat with the preacher's son at Wendy's and was wolf whistling at women coming in and hey babying to them, and all this hyper masculinity started to prove that your son wasn't gay now, okay, and that in order to be a male, you had to hyper-masculinity it all the time. This is the problem we've got now. You look at these young men and these men and how they're treating women in the workplace and other areas now. We didn't have that back in the day. That was an invention of our time, the baby boomers. It didn't exist. I know we had some issues in the past, but this over-sexualization has caused problems. And there's a lot of gay people, I'm sure, that don't like me, but I believe in this. I believe that you should stand up for the rights of others to ensure that your rights are taken care of. My rights as a taxpayer are being ran over with this. I'm sick and tired of hearing this garbage. Back in Adam's time, he allowed these cults to come in, and we warned them. And they promised us that they would keep separation of church and state. Now, Sharia law wasn't invented by the Muslims. So here we got is a cultish mentality, Sharia law, and some child is going to be passed around like some sort of commodity until it's 10 years old, and then they're going to give it away on $2 adoption day, basically, and they're cheating that child out of bonding and everything else it was entitled to. They're going to take away your baby and then force you to have a baby and not let you have an abortion to impose Sharia law on that baby.
Right,
Where's that baby's rights there? So good luck to y'all. People need to wake up that you're paying for this when there's hungry people, hungry seniors, sick people, and I don't want to hear about your Christianity if you think this is the only issue that matters to Christians. So good luck to you, Mr. Sanders.
All right.
Thank you. You can hear the frustration in her voice.
Yeah.
And when people realize that tax dollars are involved, that is often the reaction. I think that issue has been downplayed by the sponsor and those bringing this bill forward. They view it as protecting an agency from discrimination. So we're both using similar words, we're just using them differently. For us, it's most important to use discrimination with respect to individual persons. They are looking at protecting the religion of an institution. I think that's as neutral a way as I could put that. But when tax dollars are involved, I think it touches a nerve with some people.
Interesting. All right, Lucy, thank you for the call. Let's go to Jim. Hello, Jim. Jim, are you there?
Right here, thank you.
Good, good. Go right ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, the first thing, the comment, Mr. Sanders, that you made just a moment ago, I'm sorry, but when I hear such an inane comment that is so broad-brushing and doesn't take into account the millions of people that don't think this way. When you brought out that comment of slate of hate, please, sir, I'm sorry, but you demean yourself when you use a comment such as that. Because let's look at this. You're talking about the transgender issue. And I understand that that you are against a organization such as a school having a separate bath area, restroom area for a transgender student.
Yes,
it makes no sense.
Separate but unequal. That's what that is. Yeah.
No, sir. No, sir. It's not.
Yes, it is.
Where are the rights of my child?
Your child's rights are not being violated. Your child can go to the bathroom that fits with your child's gender identity.
No.
Yes.
Not gender identity. Gender is, God bless you, brother. You're male or you're female. And I am sorry that we have come to this point, where we just simply have lost our minds when it comes to these things.
Who's lost whose mind, sir?
I understand. No, sir. No, sir. I understand the issues that these people have. I've had two wonderful friends through the years that led the gay lifestyle and unfortunately lost them to the gay lifestyle. So I understand the issues that are there.
Being gay hasn't killed anybody, sir.
As a matter of fact, it has.
Discrimination is what kills people.
Oh, please, sir. Come on. We're not talking about discrimination. You can live the life you want to live, but in a public forum, in a public setting, for someone in a school to tell me that you're going to have someone that's 14 or 15 years old showering with someone of the opposite sex is wrong. There is no way around it. Schools have tried to come up with an answer for it, and you won't let them have an answer for it. Okay? You won't let them have an answer because you want to throw this agenda out. God bless these
There's
folks.
no agenda other than the safety of all the children. And
Absolutely.
you are not proving that trans children are a danger to anyone. You can't establish that because they're not attacking anyone. There's no research.
Once again, sir,
there are not anecdotes of it.
No, sir. No, sir. Let me finish with this. Once again, where are the rights of my child?
Your child is going to the shower and the bathroom that he or she wants to go to.
No, my child is going to the shower or the bathroom of the sex that they are, and that's the deal. If a school
so is the trans kid.
The trans kid is a oh, bless your heart. Okay.
Unless you don't believe that trans people exist.
Did I even say that, sir?
I'm asking you.
Of course they exist. Of course there are folks that have that mindset that have grown up such as that. But what I am saying is when you start infringing on the rights of others.
What is that right? Are you not able to go to the bathroom that you want to? Is that... I don't understand what right...
You don't understand the right. Okay, let's look at it this way. All right? I have a certain moral line that I draw in the sand when it comes to me and my family.
Right, that you're scared of people in bathrooms? Is that it?
No, sir. No, sir. Let's stop. That moral line that says that if I have a daughter, I don't want them showering with a man.
All you've asserted is a want. You haven't asserted a moral issue, sir. You've asserted a desire. You used the word want.
No, it's a moral issue on my part. Where is my rights? Where are
what right is being violated?
Where are the rights of the ultimate majority of children and families?
Are they asserting a violation of their rights, sir? I don't hear most children complaining about it.
All right, I think I understand.
But thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Well,
sure.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate your call. Let me see if I can. I really appreciate it. What he's, I believe, saying is that his daughter has a right not to be in the bathroom with
a transgender person?
Yeah, with someone who is
a trans woman?
Has the gender of a man, I guess. That would be her right being violated. How do you talk? I think that's what he's trying to say. What do you say about that?
I don't hear that trans kids are attacking or bothering anyone in whatever restroom they're in. So I don't understand where a right is being infringed unless you are trying to assert a right not to be in space with other people. And if that's the case, how far does that go? You know, you're still able to go into the bathroom that you want to go into. So acting as if your rights are being infringed because someone else can go into that same space doesn't, in the end, it has no coherence for me.
Fascinating. All right, Lucy, thank you for your call. Jim, thank you for your call. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, continue the discussion. There's the number if you want to call in. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.